Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, July 21st, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. The Cardinals took home another win, this time against the Miami Marlins by a score of 6-4. Nolan Gorman carried the offense with 4 RBIs and a pair of hits including a homer, while Ivan Herrera had 2 walks in the victory. Nolan Arenado picked up the other RBI for Cardinals, and everyone except Dylan Carlson had a hit. Dakota Hudson went only 3 innings as the starter but gave up only 2 runs while striking out 1 batter. The bullpen coughed up a couple runs towards the end of the game but held it down well enough to get the win. Nolan Arenado has the lead in homers with 21 and also RBIs with 72. In addition, Arenado has the highest batting average, .288, slugging percentage, .528, and OPS, .866. Paul Goldschmidt is the only other player leading a category on offense with a team-high .370 OBP. Tommy Edman is the only player on St. Louis to have more than 10 steals on the year, and he has only been caught once. On the pitching side, Jordan Montgomery is doing the best right now, as he is the only starter to have an ERA below 4.00. 3 different players on St. Louis's roster have at least 7 saves on the year. The Chicago Cubs defeated the Washington Nationals by a score of 8-3 in their most recent contest. The top 2 hitters in the lineup, Mike Tauchman and Nico Hoerner, combined for 5 hits, 2 homers, and 7 RBIs on the day. Yan Gomez had a pinch hit RBI, and Cody Bellinger also had a pair of hits in the victory. Kyle Hendricks surrendered only 1 run in 6 innings pitched while striking out 5 and walking none in his start. With a minor slip-up, the bullpen took care of the rest. Patrick Wisdom is the leader in homers for the Cubs on the year, but Nico Hoerner edges out everyone else with 54 RBIs on the season. Christopher Morel is the player with the highest slugging and OPS percentages among Cubs players, and Ian Happ is the leader in OBP with .373. Hoerner is also at the top in steals for the Cubs with 21. Among the pitchers, 3 different starters have below a 3.50 ERA. While Marcus Stroman has the most strikeouts with 101, Justin Steele has the lowest ERA with a 2.96. Mark Leader has been terrific in the bullpen with 3 saves and 53 strikeouts. He is also carrying a 3.43 ERA and a 0.99 WHIP. I am going to bet on the Cubs and their ace at home in this contest. Steele has been a better pitcher than Flaherty overall this season, despite his recent slip-up. The Cubs have also been a better team at home than the Cardinals have been on the road. Additionally, the Cardinals' general manager has admitted that they are in sell mode as they approach the trade deadline. This means that they are more likely to trade away their best players, which will make their team worse in the short term. I expect the Cubs to take care of business against their longtime rivals at home. I would recommend taking the Cubs with the run line. While Steele has been excellent, he has not been perfect as evidenced by his last start. St. Louis has been carried by Arenado and co. And I expect them to put across at least a few runs against Steele and Chicago's pitching staff. However, I also have confidence in Chicago taking care of this game, putting up at least 5 runs in the effort. St. Louis has given up the 3rd most runs in the National League, and both teams are top 5 in scoring in the National League. Considering how the Cardinals have been swinging the bat well and the intensity of a rivalry game, I expect some fireworks on the offensive front. Take the over. Colorado Rockies vs Miami Marlins. Colorado is having a very unmemorable year in 2023, and as of this writing on Thursday, they have the 3rd lowest win percentage, .385, in the MLB. The poor record can be attributed to the combination of underperforming players, playing in a tough division, and running into a ton of injuries. Currently, Chris Bryant, Randall Grichuk, and Noah Davis are listed as day-to-day, while Colorado is also without Kyle Freeland, 15-day Illinois, Brendan Rodgers, 60-day Illinois, Charlie Blackmon, 10-day Illinois, German Marquez, 60-day Illinois, and many others. The Rockies are just 4-6 in their last 10 games, and they're 18.5 games out of first place in the NL West. That includes Wednesday's 4-1 loss to Houston. It has been a rough restart to the season for the Marlins as they're 0-6 out of the gate. The 6-game slide has dropped them into 3rd place in the division at 53-45. They're now just 2-8 in their last 10 games. Most recently, it was a sweep at the hands of the Cardinals during the midweek series. Sandy Alcantara was saddled with a loss in the series finale in a 6-4 effort. He lasted 6.0 innings, but gave up 4 earned runs on 8 hits and 2 walks. This is a tough matchup for the Marlins, who have been struggling recently. However, I believe they have a good chance to win this game for a few reasons. First, the Marlins will be facing a left-handed starter, Braxton Garrett, who the Rockies have struggled against this season. Colorado is 24th in team batting average and 30th in ops against left-handed pitchers. Second, the Marlins have a better bullpen than the Rockies. Miami's bullpen is ranked 17th in ERA and 19th in ops, while Colorado's bullpen is ranked 27th in both categories. I think the Marlins will be able to score enough runs to win this game. They are averaging 4.2 runs per game at home, and the Rockies are averaging 3.8 runs per game on the road. I would recommend taking the Marlins with a money line. Even though the Rockies have struggled against left-handed pitching this year, they'll have a favorable opportunity to score some runs Friday night. Garrett has been bad at home this year as he owns a 5.28 ERA, and opponents are hitting .277 against him. On top of that, the current Colorado roster is slashing .286, .390, .457 against him over 35 at-bats. If the Rockies are able to put up a few runs, we should see this game go over the total. On the flip side, Colorado's pitching staff has been terrible this year. Including both starters and relievers, they're currently 29th in ERA, 5.62, 29th in WHIP, 1.53, 25th in walks, 357, and dead last in opposing team batting average, .282. Considering the Marlins are third overall in team batting average, .265, I think they'll be able to punish this Colorado staff. Let's ride with the over Friday night. San Diego Padres vs Detroit Tigers. The San Diego Padres will be giving the ball to right-hander Seth Lugo on Friday, who's 3-4 with a 3.78 ERA this season. In his last start, the righty went 5.1 innings, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits against the Phillies. However, Lugo has been much better in his last 5 starts, as he's 0-1 with a 3.29 ERA. As a pitching staff, San Diego has a team ERA of 3.77, which ranks 4th. Offensively, the Padres have struggled as outside of their first 5 hitters, the rest of the lineup has been a major issue. San Diego is slashing .234, .324, .406, which ranks 14th, 13th, and 15th in the majors. On the road, the Padres are slashing .226, .315, .402, while in July are slashing .244, .339, .466. No San Diego hitter has faced Olsen in his career. Detroit enters Thursday's game with a record of 43-52 and is 6 games back of the Minnesota Twins for first in the AL Central. Offensively, the Tigers are slashing .230, .299, .368, which ranks 28th, 28th, and 29th in the majors. At home, Detroit, meanwhile, slashes .241, .311, .374, while in July slash .233, .290, .395. Against Lugo, Baez bats .333 in 9 abs, and McKinstry is 0-1. San Diego has been playing well lately, with their offense improving and their pitching taking a step up. The Padres have one of the best rosters in the MLB, but they have not lived up to expectations so far. However, I think they will be able to beat Detroit in this matchup. Lugo has been amazing this year, while Olsen has been very hit and miss. This means that the Padres should be able to take advantage of Olsen and get to the Detroit bullpen early. Additionally, Detroit is a woeful 14-21 as a home underdog, which means that they are not very good at winning games when they are the underdog at home. I would recommend taking the Padres money line. I also like the over in this spot, as the Padres bats can score plenty of runs, while Olsen has struggled to contain runners at home. This season, San Diego is 40-56 in hitting the over, but on the road is 21-24-3, and as a road favorite is 15-11-2 in hitting the over. Meanwhile, Detroit is 50-42-3 in hitting the over, and at home is 26-18-1 in hitting the over. Finally, in Lugo's last 5 starts, he's allowing 2.4 runs per start, while Olsen will only go a few innings and then turn it over to the bullpen, which is a struggle, which is why I like the over. Take the over.